welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make some walnut and crystallised ginger biscuits, a sort of shortbread type biscuit. Very simple to make, and I'm just going to add some ground walnuts and some finely chopped crystallised ginger into the dough, chill it, roll it out and then bake it. So I've gone to the ingredients. And for this I have 175 grams, which is 1 cup plus 3 tablespoons of plain flour. That's based on scooping packed flour into a 250 milliliter cup. I have 50 grams, 5 tablespoons of rice flour. If you don't have rice flour, you could use semolina flour if you have that, that would be fine. I have 50 grams, a quarter of a cup of caster sugar, 50 grams of walnuts, which I have ground, and I did that in the food processor, and I added just a little bit of the sugar from my 50 grams of sugar into the walnuts to help prevent them from getting too oily and forming a paste. So I ground those in the food processor. I have 112 grams, 1 stick of unsalted butter, and because I'm using unsalted butter, I'm adding in a good pinch of salt as well. And then I have 25 grams, which is 2.5 tablespoons of finely chopped crystallised ginger. So I used 3 cubes of my crystallised ginger and chopped it up quite finely. How much you use really is all a matter of taste. So those are all the ingredients. And the first thing I want to do is to cream the butter with the sugar. And I'm going to do it with my hand mixer, but you could do it by hand if you wanted to. That's very easy. So then I'm going to sift my flour and my rice flour and my salt onto that, and so I'll just put them all into the same bowl and give them a quick stir around to get them a little bit incorporated. And the sifting is actually just to get them combined more evenly, basically. So that's good like that. And then I'm just going to gently mix those into the butter and sugar. And then I'm going to add in the walnuts and the ginger, and I'm going to mix them, and then I'm going to use my hand to squeeze that together into a dough. So I just tested it and it squeezes quite nicely, so I'm going to squeeze that into a dough. And that's good like that. So I'm going to put that into some plastic wrap. And I'm going to chill that. I've just formed that into a flat rectangle, but you can do it into a disc or whatever. And I'm going to cover it and chill it for 30 minutes. And as the 30 minutes comes to an end, I'm going to preheat my oven to 150 degrees Celsius, 130 Celsius with a fan, 300 Fahrenheit. And I'm going to line a baking tray with some parchment paper. And then I'll be ready to come back, roll this slightly thinner and cut out some little biscuits, maybe 1 3/4 inches in diameter, and we'll bake those. So I've chilled my pastry and the oven is now preheated. So I'm going to roll this out into about a 7-inch square, probably 8-inch rectangle, circle, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to use the plastic wrap to make sure that nothing sticks as I roll it. And that's good enough, I think. Quite thick, as you can see. And I've got my 4.5 centimetre, 1 3/4 inch cutter. And I'm just going to cut out rounds. And then I will re-roll the remainder. And I'm going to put them onto my baking tray. So there I have 27 rolled out like that. The final one's slightly larger, but that's fine. So I'm going to put those into the oven and I'm going to bake them for 45 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes, and they should bake up quite nicely. I'll take them out of the oven at that stage and leave them on the trays for 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'll transfer them to a wire rack and let them cool completely. And once they've cooled completely, I'll come back and we'll have a taste of them. I baked the walnut and crystallised ginger biscuits or shortbread for 45 minutes, took them out of the oven and left them for 5 minutes. Then I transferred them to a wire rack. So they've cooled down now, and this is what they look like. And they baked up very well, and I've broken one in half so you can see inside as well. Very, very good. And so I'll have a taste of this half. I've already eaten the previous half. Has a wonderful texture. It almost melts in the mouth, nice and tender, and you get the sort of texture and the flavour of the walnut, and then a slight little hit of ginger when you encounter the pieces of finely chopped crystallised ginger, and they have a different texture to them as well, of course. So very easy to make, very quick to make as well, and I think very worthwhile. These would be ideal with coffee or tea or something like that, I'm sure. Would also be ideal broken over the top of some ice cream, because they would crumble quite nicely. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.